Okay, the trade deadline has come and gone, and I don't like doing this, but fair's fair. I have to cop to being quite wrong. I did not think that the Twins were going to do anything at the deadline here of any significance. I thought maybe there would be a minor trade or two, to get like this year's version of Sam Dyson or something like that. Some mediocre guy you can stick in a sixth inning. I didn't think they were going to do anything significant. Um, but they made a couple of trades that were pretty significant. They made four trades total. Uh, they got Jorge Lopez, the closer from the Orioles. They got Tyler Mahle, starting pitcher from the Reds, who had been talked about quite a bit, I think, as maybe a trade target. They picked up Michael Fulmer from the Tigers, relief pitcher who just pitched against us last night. And then they made a minor deal picking up Sandy Leone uh, for some catching depth. They stuck him at St. Paul, but he might be here. They might bring him up because we're not getting much from the catching position. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. Is how I would put it, but I was wrong. You know, you know. Now, just the players they acquired, and we've kind of the three pitchers. Those are the significant ones. I like the trades, um, largely because of two things. One, we didn't give up that much. I don't follow the prospects as closely as some people do, but I recognized a couple of the names that we gave up in those trades. One of them was that Cano, who's pitched a little bit here this year, and there were that Spencer Steer we gave up for Mahle, and a couple other guys who you just see the name and you're like, oh, I kind of remember hearing that name, but we didn't give up like any real top guys, um, and you know so I like that. And then in the case of Lopez and Mahle, they're not rentals. Fulmer's a rental. We've only got him for the rest of the season. But Mahle we've got for the rest of this year and next year, and then Lopez we've got for 2 more years after this year. So, you know, I I was very strongly almost like I don't want us to trade. I don't want us to make any moves for this team this year. But these are trades, in those two cases that can help, next year or even the year after. So I'm all for it because we're always going to need pitching and they ain't developing it. So, you know, I don't think this Mahle is great. Like he's pretty good. He'll probably be instantly like our third best starting pitcher, um, which ain't saying much. But and Lopez, we can stick him now at the back of the bullpen, along with Fulmer. Fulmer is more like sixth, seventh inning guy. Lopez though has been he was an all-star closer. Um, you can stick him and Duran now at the back of every game if you're leading. Hopefully, um, we'll see how they actually are how these guys are actually used. But like we've got four. It's just in the span of that one afternoon. We now have four relief pitchers who, when they come into a game, every Twins fan is not going to be, you know, assuming the worst and just waiting for destruction. Because now we've got Duran and Lopez at the back of the bullpen, and push it up a little bit. We've got Fulmer and Griffin Jacks has been pretty good. Um, so like just that alone is very helpful, and getting another starter because we had to call up a guy from AAA to start last night. Um, we've been lacking. We haven't had to we didn't need a fifth starter for like 2 weeks, but so that happened. You know, Frankly, I thought we were going to maybe keep that Aaron Sanchez because he struck out I think 8 guys in 5 innings. Like it's got to be a place for him somewhere. But they did make some 40-man call up moves along with all this. Jake Cave's back. Dread it, run from it. Jake Cave returns all the same. And the big one is they put Sano onto the 60-day DL. So Sano is done. That is the end of Miguel Sano's Minnesota Twins career. Because, I mean, they wouldn't, even if he was hitting well, they wouldn't pull him off the 60-day DL like, in October, like for a playoff series or something. So that's the end of him. And they put Kirilloff on the injured list and for Cave, and so DFA'd Cotton, I think. So, but yeah, as far as these acquisitions go, like, good job to Falvine. I've been incredibly down on Falvine, and this isn't like, oh my God, they're off the hook forever. A big part of the reason why they had to make these trades is because a lot of their developing of pitchers has been very bad, and a lot of their other acquisitions have been very bad. Like, if Emilio Pagan and Joe Smith were good acquisitions this year, we maybe wouldn't have needed, to go out and get a couple of relievers. If they had done better, at developing starting pitchers, we probably wouldn't need a Taylor or a Tyler Mahle. I'm gonna mix up Taylor and Tyler for forever. But I like the deal. I think if they do the winners and losers of the trade deadline, I think they're a big winner. Because I think these moves, they are now firmly, I think, the favorites again in the division. They're only as of right now, they're up a game on Cleveland. I think 3 up on Chicago. And like, these you fortify your bullpen in a big way, and you get one more starting pitcher. Just to we'll see who ends up getting bumped. Maybe if Bailey Ober comes back, or even if Kenta Maeda comes back, late in the season here and is anything, maybe there can be something. But again, it's like it's one more starting pitcher that you can throw out there and not be like, oh my God, we're gonna lose because we have no chance because of who's on the mound. So, good moves. They definitely should be the favorites in the division again. I think they will win the division. I've certainly been dooming it for weeks that they weren't going to win the division, but I also didn't think they were going to really do anything at the trade deadline. They did stuff at the trade deadline. This should be enough, and Cleveland and Chicago didn't do really anything. So all the change has been Twins helping themselves, and these other teams didn't do anything. So I think they're set. I think they're set for the division. They'll win the division. We got I don't know how many games left. I think it's a little under 60 games left. They should be able to be at least a couple games better than like a Cleveland or Chicago the rest of the way. And of course, we have a lot of games against them in September. They should be okay. Now, being confident about this Twins team is dangerous, because anytime you start to feel like things are looking up, then they start to fall apart again. But they made a couple real good moves today, helped themselves out. They should be able to get to the playoffs. When they get to the playoffs, they'll probably get killed by whatever wild card they face, because that'll probably just be a better team still. But I think they will win the division. And again, I admit that I'm wrong. Didn't think Falvine was going to do anything, but they did quite a bit, and they did it well. Not just making trades for the sake of making trades, but they made good trades, smart trades that will help them not just this year in a couple cases, but in the future. And I don't think you can do it any better.